The Mimic's new update could change the horror game genre forever. In 2024, the horror game genre has been in a bit of a slump. Although there has been numerous horror games releases this year, the overall quality has been average. We've had one or two standout titles like Monster Local and Pressure, but not too many S-tier horror games. Even some of the big names such as Doors and The Mimic have only had one update between them, the Mimic's update back in early 2024. While it was a great chapter, it wasn't particularly scary, which is the main focus on horror games. With all this in mind, the horror game genre desperately needs a big creative new horror game or update. The perfect candidate for that is The Mimic. The Mimic is an evolving game, and although the last chapter has been less scary, you can see they are changing their approach with how they do updates. We do have a confirmed Mimic update for this year, though we don't know if it will be Book 2 Chapter 4 or a new game mode. If done right, this update could change the horror game genre, and here is how. In a previous conversation with the developer Muck, he mentioned he has been taking notes on the feedback about the last chapter. He has stated he is planning to make a change. Initially, he said it would happen when Rebirth comes out, but now he's hinted it could be sooner, possibly even in Book 2 Chapter 4. The horror game genre really needs something big and creative. Most games have been repetitive, so if Book 2 Chapter 4 is extremely scary and dark, it could set the stage for all future games coming in 2025. There is definitely a lot of hype for this chapter. The big question is, though, will it change the horror game genre or even live up to the hype? The Mimic has potential to redefine the horror game genre by introducing innovative scares and a fresh approach on storytelling. If they succeed, it can inspire other developers to push the boundaries and elevate the genre to new heights. Moreover, the recent flurry of sneak peeks and updates indicate that the Mimic is getting closer to release, with significant progress being made on Book 2 Chapter 4. However, before any chapter in the Mimic drops, we can expect a release of Yokai, a new survival horror game using mechanics similar to Dead by Daylight. This upcoming game is also highly anticipated and promises to bring a fresh, exciting experience to the horror game genre. So how can the Mimic truly change the horror game genre? Here are a few ways. First things first, it needs more creativity, introducing unique mechanics like the falls apart in Book 2 Chapter 3 where you have to sleep at the right time. They need something unique that still keeps the horror vibe. Number 2 is the atmosphere. The game needs to be extremely scary, and for that to happen, the setting has to be right. Dark and creepy with no background music, very important, and minimal sound effects only when needed. Number 3 is scarier boss fights. Making boss fights more terrifying is challenging since they are typically action-oriented. But if they can achieve this and make boss fights more scary, it would definitely make the game way better. And a little bonus one too, simplicity. Sometimes the Mimic tries to do too much to maintain its reputation as the best horror game on Roblox. Keeping the quality high is important, but using simpler, more relatable elements like the normal Roblox models such as the farmer in Book 1 Chapter 1 can make the game feel more real and immersive. The Mimic has already changed the horror game genre with its unique storytelling and immersive experience, but it has the potential to push those boundaries even further. I do really believe that the Mimic will change the horror game genre with this new update, and these elements are key to making it happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. There is definitely a lot of hype for the Mimic Book 2 Chapter 4, and there's also a lot of hype for another anticipated update, which is Roblox Doors Floor 2. If you want to see if that will live up to the hype, go check out my video right here.